Shalom, I'm Jennifer Saber. I'm a teacher in our synagogue school and a mother, and this is what I'm thinking about during the month of Elul, for you and your family, children included. I've been thinking about three little words, three words that carry big meaning, big emotion, and they are, I am sorry. I digress for a moment because I'd like to introduce you to my pressure cooker. Do you know how it works? Pressure cooking is the process of cooking food at high pressure in a sealed vessel. This, my friends, is my household during the pandemic. Imagine the heat and pressure building up in our household. My guess is you don't really have to imagine because you are living through it also. A lot of together time in the house and not too much to do to entertain ourselves. But some popular pastimes this summer have been making fun of a sibling for not brushing his hair, eating the last of the highly coveted grapes in the fridge on a Tuesday when you only order and get groceries delivered on a Sunday, not wearing AirPods and listening to an iPad way too loud, a poorly timed glance mistaken for a stink eye, and then the turn of a switch, the quick to anger reaction of the person on the receiving end, steam pouring out of ears like a cartoon character, like the steam released through the top valve of the pressure cooker, followed by those three little words, I am sorry. Once the hot steam of the squabble has dissipated, it's interesting to watch the different types of apologies. One of my children is very quick to apologize, and by the sly smile and batting of her eyelashes, you know she wants something, like cash or a ride. My youngest child flees to another room and returns a few minutes later as if nothing took place, leaving any remorse silently left behind in the next room. Growing up, we were told, and in turn taught my own children, about the quick band-aid of the I'm sorry phrase to mend a wrong. Say you're sorry for eating your sister's candy bar. But what I notice these days is these three magic words can be empty, an empty sentiment. Three words said to put a neat end to a situation void of remorse and regret. But this time of year, we think about teshuvah, the righting of wrongs, the return to a better me. And there is even a how-to manual for the process. Step 1, regret by realizing the extent of the damage. Step 2, stop the act. Step 3, verbalize the mistake and ask for forgiveness. And step 4, make a commitment to not do it again. How do we pack all that into the recitation of the three words, I am sorry? How do we teach our children to do the same? I believe that each person has to define this for themselves. I think the 4 steps are a thoughtful process for working towards forgiveness. Each person has to mull over the steps of teshuvah, even our kiddos. It is not our job as parents to bark at our kids, say, I'm sorry. Our own unique and comfortable approach to fill an empty I'm sorry with feelings of regret and remorse. It is said in Pirkei Avot chapter 1, at the beginning of verse 6, find yourself a teacher. And in my case, I want to learn from my middle child. I've seen her get into one of these squabbles during the pandemic. More than once has she blown her top in our pressure-cooked-filled household, just like the rest of us. But I've noticed she has her own process for teshuvah that gives her meaning. Step 1, the squabble. Step 2, storm off to be by herself in her bedroom. Step 3, about 20 minutes later, quietly approaching, she says, Mommy, I'm sorry. Her head tilted down, her big brown eyes looking up. You can feel the authenticity. The final step is a hug, with her head resting on my shoulder for just a moment. My child has written her own recipe for teshuvah. She cooked up her own personal steps for getting to a heartfelt I'm sorry. Speaking of heartfelt, she even caps it off with the following, which definitely melts my heart every time. So I leave you with these questions to think about. How do you make your I'm sorry heartfelt instead of void of heart? How can you personalize the steps of teshuvah to make it your own? This season, how are you going to make the steps of asking forgiveness your own? I wish you a Shana Tova Umituka. May you be able to pack away the pressure cooker deep into your kitchen cupboard this season and create a new sweet recipe in the cookbook of life. Toda rabah.